Okay. Submitted. Fingers crossed. Oh my god, they asked so much for an application. Wow. That was intense. Applying for an apartment in Boston was easier.
I'm bummed right now. But still gonna give you an update. We followed up with the realtor on Friday. They said that they would get back to us Friday afternoon or evening. Never did. We didn't want to bother them over the weekend, so we waited till Monday. They said that they were having a meeting with the landlord Monday night at 5 p.m. We kept waiting for a text, never got one. Honestly, by then I was thinking that maybe we had been approved, but they were getting like all the contracts ready for us to sign, so they didn't want to tell us yet. Just because this was like the first apartment we've applied to in New York. We followed up today and we just heard back that turns out the old tenant decided to stay in New York even though they had said that they were moving out of state. So honestly, right now, I'm not only bummed, but I'm confused. Just because for me, right, like as a renter, I expect that if an apartment's online, it means for sure that the person is moving out. Even if we weren't approved for other reasons like financial, I would have been okay. But the fact that it's because they decided to stay, that to me, like, I don't get it. By the time you're seeing this video, it's most likely because I've already found an apartment. But right now, as I'm feeling and as I'm filming this, I just don't get it. And honestly, I'm a little peeved. I'm annoyed, frustrated. My partner and I have lost so much sleep over this apartment because we kept not hearing anything. And to me, that is such a huge sign of disrespect. I've seen so many apartment hunting videos on YouTube and I feel like all of them have been very positive leaning. And so I wanted to come up here and share this because I feel like this is a side of apartment hunting, especially in New York City, that I haven't seen anyone talk about. Like, I have seen so many people complain about, oh, like, you know, it's expensive, you're not getting a lot of space, you have to sacrifice some things. Like, all of those I've heard, and all of those are valid. And I'm sure I've complained about them in a previous video, but just this particular point, like, I haven't heard anyone say anything. I thought that this was over. And I think that's what's maddening the most is I thought it was over. I was being more optimistic than I usually was. Don't get me wrong, I was still pessimistic. I was still anxious about it. But I was more optimistic than I really should have been. I feel like this reiterated to me that I should not be optimistic during this process at all. Like, I should go into every application with the thought of like, we're probably not gonna get it. And that is such a bummer, especially when we want to live in New York City. I could probably go on. I was like already fantasizing about how I decorate the rooms. The apartment that got away. I did not film us applying for this apartment yesterday because I totally forgot. We literally toured in the morning and then we essentially came back as soon as we were convinced to apply. And then we went out. And then we got the news this morning, which was disappointing. I feel like this one hurt a little less than the previous one because at least it wasn't because the tenant decided to stay. But at the same time, this one felt disappointing in a different way because I'm really tired and I'm really stressed out. This truly affected my mood today. I wasn't even sure I was going to film this because I was in such a bad mood. I started crying while I was making my smoothie. This one felt disappointing because there were still issues with that apartment. And we thought we were being practical to overlook those issues because literally last week I just filmed my part 1 of apartment hunting video, and as I was filming that I was like, we're being really, really picky. After I filmed that video, I was starting to think that maybe we're being too picky, right? Like maybe we're just being unbelievably nitpicky when we should let some things go. And so for this apartment, we did, right? So this apartment didn't have a microwave. The oven was minuscule, and we were just like, you know what, all of this we can get over, and we still didn't get it. This was like the second time that we had both felt strong enough to apply. For anyone who's watching, if you're in this process, if you're thinking about doing it, I'm not trying to discourage you by filming this clip. I feel like no video I watched really prepared me for the amount of disappointment, the amount of rejections I would get. So my fiance right now is out looking at an apartment. I am literally just texting someone else right now to look for an apartment later this week. I'm not able to enjoy New York right now, is where I'm at headspace wise. Like, my mind is consumed by either working out, or looking for an apartment. We've been apartment hunting for basically a month now. We just booked tickets to go to Seattle for like a week in September. If we don't sign for an apartment before we leave, we gotta come back after and keep looking and potentially pack, figure out where we're potentially gonna be living next, like where we're gonna sublet next. Just thinking about it, oh my God, it'll be a miracle if I sleep tonight. So I'm gonna try not to think about it.
Third application. Whee! High five. Woo. Let's see if we'll get this one. Third time's a charm? Question mark? I literally said to him that I'm gonna document our third disappointment. Because anytime I like something, I hope not though.
He got rented.
Huh?
He got rented. I want to cry. Are we sure we want to live in New York? I'm questioning why we're doing this right now. That's where I'm at. I don't know if this is gonna be worth it at this point. It is Tuesday, and this morning I went to go to our place. Liked it enough that we actually applied. I didn't film because I literally came back, had to work a bit, and then applied. So I was like not in the mindset to document it. It hadn't even been 24 hours since we got the rejection from the previous place, but this one, honestly, I was telling my fiance I kind of like it more than the third place we actually applied to. Unfortunately, I have my hopes high up again. Anyways, I'm making dinner while my fiance is coming back from looking at a different apartment just because we haven't signed anything. Oh, it's raining. My fiance's not here. He's out looking at another apartment because I was literally telling him like 2 hours before that the fact that we haven't heard anything yet is making me believe we didn't get it. Okay, so here's what happened. Yesterday, the management company called my fiance to kind of follow up on the app, ask him a few questions. He was asking if it would go up our rent by $100 because the tenants were potentially thinking of adding another roommate, even though I was under the impression that they were for sure leaving. So my fiance and I chatted after the call, and I had said I'm fine going up by $100 if they will give us a longer lease. So anyways, I was being really, really pessimistic. So like, I feel like I can finally breathe again. I just felt like when I first got the text, I saw the preview, like, thank you so much for your patience. And I was like, oh no, it's gonna be bad news. But it was actually good news. We need to like look at the application and the contract and everything. But I just wanted to share this good news. What a load off. Before my fiance gets home, I figured I should probably update this video. This video is like going off the rails right now. I think last time we chatted, we were approved for an apartment. We decided not to move forward, and I feel like I'm gonna get like rolled eyes or something behind the screen because you can see in the clips before that I was super stressed about never getting approved. And I was really happy with being approved. However, we both had a sour taste in our mouth once we were approved because what happened was the realtors wanted us to put down a non-refundable first month and security deposit before we even got to see or sign a lease. Kind of sounds scammy, sounded sketchy to us. The other thing was they were being super pushy. The way I had learned that we were approved was that the realtor texted me. This was before I got any emails or anything. So I was really excited to just like get the initial like, hey, you've been approved, like you're gonna see more information come through soon. So I was just really excited, and that's like the clip that you saw. However, once we did get the email basically said that you have 6 hours before this offer expires to pay that non-refundable security deposit and first month's rent. Initially, I was like, 6 hours? Please, if you live in New York or if you've been through this process, please tell me if this is normal. So we ended up pausing, which kind of sucked, but at the same time, it gave me a little bit of my confidence back because the last few rejections had really been a downer for me. And so I'm like, okay, we're like looking at other places. We have applications lined up. We applied to 2 more places yesterday. So literally yesterday, we denied the application and then we sent in 2 more applications. We still have a little bit of time, honestly. I am getting a little anxious just in general because I'm starting to see like 10/1 move-in dates come through on Street Easy, which is not ideal because we cannot move 10/1. Fingers crossed, we are going to tour the apartment that we applied to and put a deposit on tomorrow. I'm hoping we get some good news next week, knock on wood. Anyways, I hope you're enjoying the series. I don't know. I hope you're enjoying this video. We put on a deposit and applied to an apartment that we really liked. And then we toured it on Sunday. Still really liked it in person because we saw a video tour on Friday. So going on Sunday was more of like a formality, but also wanting to make sure the space actually would work for us. We're gonna wait for the lease. I'm really happy because we were talking about it over the weekend, and theoretically, I think if I had to like rank all the apartments we've applied for, the one we applied for on Friday is technically my number 2 choice. I'll kind of talk more about the application process for this particular unit later because this application process gave me more anxiety than the previous ones. And in fact, the last 2 days, my eye has been twitching. This afternoon, we're gonna go to the area to kind of check it out in the evening time because we went on like Sunday midday, and like obviously the vibes of a neighborhood is going to be a little different at nighttime. So I know I don't like look or sound particularly excited, but that's because I haven't signed anything yet. And we haven't like finalized everything. Anywho's, we're getting closer and closer to the end of the tunnel. And now it's like scrambling my brain. I'm excited though. It's a very cozy apartment. We're signing. Okay.
Did you sign it? Oh, no.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. Woo, done. We got an apartment. Woo! Oh my god. That's such a load off. Whew. Really did not think we were going to be able to make it for a second.
I had no doubts.
I almost thought we were going to move back to Seattle. That would have been really funny end to this video, actually. We're here. It's probably a little echoey right now, but we made it. I'm not gonna give a tour or anything because this video is already long, but if you're interested in seeing that, definitely stay tuned for the moving vlog because I'm probably just going to insert it in there. If you watched this video all the way through, thank you. I really appreciate it. This video, filming it and editing it was such a roller coaster because as I was editing it, it felt like I was reliving every negative emotion. And I'm not gonna lie, like, because I usually go through various processes of the edit, so I feel like I kind of brought down the drama a little bit, and hopefully it didn't get like too watered down in all of my cuts. But yeah, it's been quite a roller coaster. I really appreciate all of you who watched this video all the way through until now, and hopefully I'll see you next time for another video. Bye guys. It's probably gonna be the moving vlog.